Hi guys, it's been a year, I know. It's TZ and I am back with another update. Oh my gosh guys, it's been a year. I hope that you guys are all healthy and doing well. Yeah, I have been gone for over a year. It has been a year. I will probably break this video up into like two. I don't want to keep it super long. It's been a year, so I have like a lot of quite a few updates to like my life and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm gonna be mindful. If you see my eyes going up, it's because I'm just looking at the time. I'm just trying to be mindful of the time on this video, so I'm gonna try and keep it definitely under 20 minutes if I can. So where do I start? Yeah, I've been off of my social media when it comes to my Instagram and YouTube for about a year now. I stopped posting on Instagram, it was over a year. So I always wanted my platform to serve as, you know, education and just following my journey as far as me going through infertility. A lot of people don't open up about their journey, so I wanted to be as open as possible and spread awareness as I go through this and learn, you know, throughout my journey. My significant other, he is fully aware that I have Instagram and I have a YouTube channel. I think he may subscribe to my YouTube channel. If not, he does search for them on occasion. He'll watch some of my videos, but as far as Instagram, not really. He doesn't follow it. And as far as like the friends and family that I have on both is it's less than 5 people. But as far as like my TTC community is bigger. So as far as like people that know myself and my husband, like I said, it's less than 5 people that follow both, that know that I do, that I have this platform. And it started to get to a point where I felt like someone was reporting back to my husband when I would post or when I would do something, and then he would kind of come back to me like, oh, what did you post or what did you say, type of thing. And it would always infuriate me. And I think the last time it happened, it just made me so fucking mad. I'm not gonna lie. Like, bitch, you follow me, or whatever. Like, you fucking follow me, but you gotta go back and ask my husband something. You're not gonna come to me and ask me, like, but you following me. Like, is that needed? Like, what's the point? So I was like, fuck it. Like, I just stopped. Like, it just made me feel like whatever. Like, I'm not gonna fucking post. How about that? So you have nothing to go back to report to him about. And I think I posted something after that, like, you know, don't let somebody steal your joy, because like I liked posting about you know, my journey and stuff that I did, and you know, with my TTC community, my sisters and stuff like that. And I just stopped. Like, it just, like I said, it just kind of upset me, and I was like, whatever. Like, it made me not interested in it anymore, and so I stopped as far as like with Instagram. If you're watching this and you think that I'm talking about you, I am. Just know that I am. If you feel some type of way or you think that I'm talking about you, I am. So yeah, I stopped. And then as far as with YouTube, I figured that, you know, I would just still post my, you know, my updates on YouTube. The last one I had posted was the Lovenox, I think, update. So we had 4 embryos that were frozen last year. It's 2021 already, so maybe 2019. 2019, we had 4 embryos. The first transfer, we decided to transfer 2 embryos that ended up failing. That was in September 19. And then I think in November 2019, we decided to transfer one more embryo, and that one failed. So we had one embryo left. And I decided after the new year, we would go ahead and we would proceed to transfer the last embryo. So in January, I ended up doing ERA. And then in February, that's when I started the Lovenox. So I think that's where I had that's when I stopped that was the last video you seen was the Lovenox. I figured that since this was our last embryo, I was going to go out with a bang and do everything that I could to possibly make sure that this embryo stuck. So I think I posted on Instagram and me at CNY getting intralipids. So I ended up also incorporating intralipids into that last transfer. If you're not familiar with intralipids, I'm just going to kind of read it off real quick. But intralipids, it says essentially IVF administered fat. Intralipids have been shown to improve implantation and reduce pregnancy loss by lowering the activity of the natural killer cells in your immune system. So they, again, it's via IV. I think you do it 2 or 3 times. Again, it's been a while, but I think at that point I did it twice when I posted that video. I did it twice, and I think after your transfer you do it again, if I'm not mistaken. So that was in March that I started the intralipids. COVID was here, but cases were breaking out, but like people were still going with their day-to-day type of thing. I think here we got our first COVID death, and it may have been some other deaths in other places as well. And then that's when like shit got real, and that's when stuff started closing down. So that 3rd week of March, that's when my transfer was scheduled. I think my transfer was scheduled either the 19th or the 26th. One of those two, I don't remember. I don't have it marked in my calendar actually, but it was one of those 2 days that I ended up having my transfer. So did the intralipids. I know that week when I did the intralipids, you know, there was another young lady in there getting intralipids done as well. We're laughing, talking, whatever. That Monday, I go back to CNY to get my PRP done, and it was an absolute ghost town. It was just so eerie. There were, I think it was a few people in the waiting room, but it was like not standing next to each other, just not knowing what to do. At that point, we were not wearing masks. But they had shut down a lot of things. But if you had already started your transfer, then they were letting the women that started their transfer process continue, or you had the option to not. But we had continued to go ahead and continue, because I already did the ERA, I did the Lovenox, and I had done the intralipids. If you're not familiar with PRP, PRP is platelet-rich plasma. It says PRP is a concentrate of platelet-rich plasma protein derived from your whole blood. So that's when they draw your blood, they spin it, and then they insert it to inside your uterus as well. That's to improve the uterine lining and implantation. So I did that, I believe that Monday I went in, and same thing, it was so eerie, just going in and just the unknown. But again, at any point I could have stopped, but I figured that I would just go ahead and do it. Either the day after or either Wednesday, I did an HCG wash as well. I've done HCG washes with my other transfers, so I figured that I would do another HCG wash. HCG wash is when they insert HCG again into your uterus. That I guess it kind of tricks your body into thinking that you're pregnant, so your body doesn't reject the embryo after they do the transfer. So I did the HCG wash. I think it was that Tuesday, Wednesday. Schedule for my transfer again, it was that Thursday. So Thursday come, we drive to Syracuse. I also had acupuncture. They allowed me to keep my acupuncture appointment. I was already on the books, but I think after that they were stopping acupuncture with your transfers. Get to CNY. It's an absolute ghost town as well. When you go into the lobby, there was no one in there. We were immediately escorted to the back where you go to where you go to get like your massages and your acupuncture and stuff. So go get my acupuncture. Wasn't my normal acupuncturist that I'm used to seeing. There was a lady there. She's full body. She's covered, full body, protective mask. Again, at that point, you're just not knowing who had COVID, who didn't have COVID or anything like that. So, yeah, it was, at that point, it's like, I'm just laying there like, oh my gosh, like, should I really be getting, like, doing this, or should I have waited? Like, just not, again, just not knowing. It was so unknown. Everything was so early and so unknown at that point. Just not knowing. So, but I did it. So I did the acupuncture, and then we went upstairs. We were, again, escorted to a room, and I don't remember the doctor that did my, transfer. I will put it in the description down below. I'll look it up. It may have been Dr. Didkoff. If not, I forgot the other gentleman's name, but he was awesome. He was very friendly, and he had amazing bedside manners. During the transfer, he was actually bouncing back and forth between myself and the next room because my bladder was too full, and I guess the young lady next to me, hers wasn't full enough, so he was kind of bouncing back and forth, just seeing who was ready. Ended up having to, they were asking me to, like, partially pee, and I was like, I can't partially pee, it's either all or nothing. So I ended up having to pee, and then once I peed, he was able to do the transfer. But even then, I'm like, damn, like, I know, like, even before, like, with the COVID, like, I traveled for work, but I hadn't traveled in a month prior, so I was home, and so as far as my exposure was low. But it was like, I don't know this chick that, you know, he's bouncing back and forth, bouncing between the rooms. I didn't know where she came from, you know what I mean? Like, and just from some of the groups that I seen on that I follow on Facebook, like, at that point, chicks was still trying to risk their lives to get transfers and stuff done. And I'm like, you could wait, you know what I mean? But I know everybody gonna have their thoughts or feel a certain type of way. I didn't wait, so, but I also wouldn't have traveled to another state at that point to get a transfer done. And I know some women were still transferring, still trying to travel from another state to get transfers and get all that stuff done. So to each their own. I'm not knocking anybody, it's whatever. But at that point it was like, damn, like, I don't know if she has COVID or where she came from. Like, am I exposing myself? Like, again, I was still kind of in the back of my head, like, thinking, like, should I have done this or not? But I did it. So got the transfer done, and I think after that, like I said, I think you do another thing of intralipids, if I'm not mistaken. I think I ended up still getting the intralipids done after my transfer. So on top of everything else that I was doing, so the Prograf, the LDN, the prednisone, all the other stuff, I had incorporated 6 or 7 new items into that last transfer. So like I said, I did the ERA, I did the Lovenox, I did the intralipids, I did the PRP, I did the HCG Wash. Oh, I also did embryo glue at that point. And I did acupuncture. So I did that on top of, like I said, all of the other stuff that I've talked about in my other videos. Because again, this was our last embryo, and I was like, I need to do all this just to make sure that this one sticks. Needless to say, I did all that, and my transfer ended up failing. So that one, our last embryo, did not stick, and it was a failed transfer. It was devastating for me, but then also I was beyond devastated, because like I said, I did so much, and as far as like prepping for with my body and just all those protocols, and just thinking or hoping that, you know, one of these things is going to make this embryo stick, and it didn't. And after the I got the call to say that, you know, that I had a negative pregnancy test, like, I was devastated. And I also feel that, like, at that time I didn't get the support that I needed to get through that last failed transfer. I just didn't, and I shut down even more. So after that, you didn't see me post anything. Like, I just a ghost. I went completely ghost. And I also felt like at that time it was like, I'm not, like, I feel like I came to terms with, this is it. It's just not meant for me to have a baby, to have a child of my own, to have a child that I birthed, you know, that I gave birth to, that has my DNA. Like, I just felt like maybe this wasn't for this it wasn't in my plan. This isn't my plan. This isn't like God's plan. So completely shut down. So I did not research. I didn't do anything. I just shut down in different aspects of my life. I shut down. So I didn't post any of the, I was recording and kind of like you know, documenting everything, and I just don't want to relive it. So I figured I would just come on here and just do an update, because I know a lot of sisters, TTC sisters, were reaching out to me just to check on me, and I thank you all for that, for checking on me to see how I was during this whole time. And then other, you know, people just asking for updates after my Lovenox and stuff like that. So I figured that I definitely want to come on and just like give you guys an update as far as like with the last transfer. So our transfer, my transfer failed, and so that was it. So it's about 16 minutes in, so I'm gonna stop here. I do have more updates as far as like some other things, but like I said, I'm gonna break up this video just because I don't want them to be like super long. And this gives me an opportunity to at least post something so I could post more. But yeah, so let me know how you guys are doing. If I haven't spoken to you, like I said, even though I wasn't like posting, I still was talking to sisters via Instagram and stuff like that. And just, you know, at one point I stopped going on, but then I would go on and check to see, you know, check on sisters to see how they were doing and all that stuff, and liking pictures and stuff. So I hope you all are doing well. But I'm here, like I said, a lot going on. So I will see you in my next video, but I'm gonna stop it right here because I have some stuff to do, and then at least I got this out the way, and then I'll come back and I will give you guys another update. So bye guys.